Hey, I'm Melissa.
And I'm Whitney.
We started this true crime podcast over a glass of wine and quickly turned from true crime listeners into true crime advocates.
So get comfy, pop a cork, and grab a glass because we have work to do.
This is Cults, Crimes, and Cabernet.
Some content may be unsuitable for sensitive listeners. Discretion is advised.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. And happy after Easter. Hope you had a great Easter break if you celebrate Easter.
Yes, if not, most schools, I think, have actually had one extra day out. So long weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My kids had Friday and Monday out. So
okay,
it's a long weekend.
Yeah, mine just had Friday out. So they love that extra day, especially during this time of the year when they are struggling to get through. They're just ready for summer.
Yes, I feel like we've all kind of tapped out at this point. You know, you get to May or April and May are the hardest times of the school year. You would think it'd be starting the school year because no one wants summer to end, but it's always towards the end where you just have, it's almost like senioritis. You just want to be done.
Exactly. And then you got state testing and finals. The dates just came out for my kids and they are moaning and groaning about it already. So,
yes.
Part of life.
Yep. And there's just a lot going on these months. You know, you've got all school stuff going on, school parties, school things. And we've decided to add in a few bonus episodes to this mix. But it's because there's lots of things going on here in the Austin area. So we've got lots of questions. You're going to have some information coming out and we're helping some families.
Exactly. It's what we're doing, what we love, helping victims and their families get the word out about what's going on. And it's right there where Whitney lives this time. So no traveling needed.
Just a trip downtown.
Exactly. So what kind of wine do you have today?
This wine is, I'm not even sure where you would buy this wine. When I went to an event in March last month, it was a fundraising event and you had the opportunity to do what's called a wine pull. So you give $20, $50, whatever amount they choose, and you get to pull a wine out. And it's usually valued at more than what you pay. Mm-hmm. This one is supposedly valued at $200. So this was a fancy bottle of wine that Whitney is not used to drinking. But we cracked it open this week with the neighbors, and it's pretty good.
Oh, wow. How much did you have to pay to pull this one?
$20.
$20 for a $200 bottle of wine. That's so exciting.
Yeah. It is from Camus Vineyards. It is a Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa Valley. It says that my parents, Charlie and Lorna, grew up a mile apart in Rutherford, Napa Valley. After marrying, they farmed grapes and sold them to local wineries, yet Charlie became captivated by wine and winemaking himself. In 1972, I joined my folks to make wine commercially, and we never looked back. Camus remains a hands-on family winery located where it began, in Rutherford, a center point of Napa Valley's beautiful vineyards. I worked with my parents for 30 years, and we remain generational with two of my children helping to run farming and winemaking. Charlie and Jenny are accomplished winemakers in their own right, and like me, they feel that Camus should continue the way we began, hands-on and guided by successive generations. Camus is best known for a singular expression of Cabernet, dark, rich, and luxuriously soft, exuding natural characters that are born of Napa Valley's special climate and soils. That's a statement from Chuck Wagner.
That is the sweetest story I've ever heard. So cute.
Right? The front says dedicated to agriculture. So they must be very sustainable and I don't know. It was really good. It's very, very smooth.
That sounds like an amazing wine. Let's get into your case. Nevada, correct?
Let's do it. Nevada, yeah. Nevada. Does anyone know the proper way to say it? I call it Nevada, but maybe it's because I'm Southern and we drag out all of our vowels. I don't really know.
I don't know. Growing up in California, we say Nevada.
Okay. Y'all would probably know because they're your neighbor.
Right there. Very close.
My case takes us to Sin City, Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a city located in the state of Nevada in the United States that's famous for its casinos, entertainment, and nightlife. The city's history is closely tied to the mob, specifically the Italian-American mafia. In the 1940s and 1950s, organized crime figures such as Benjamin Bugsy Siegel and Meyer Lansky invested in and built casinos in Las Vegas, using them as a means of laundering money and generating income. The mob's influence in Las Vegas continued into the 60s and the 70s, with prominent figures such as Anthony Spilatro acting as enforcers for the mafia's interest in the city. But in the 80s and the 90s, the FBI cracked down on organized crime in Vegas, resulting in the arrest and imprisonment of many, many mobsters. Today, while the mob's presence in Las Vegas is much diminished, in fact, most people say that it's non-existent, but we know that there's some generational things going on there. And I think in this recent drought that Vegas has gone through, we've seen a few maybe ties to the mafia show up in Lake Mead a little bit, potentially.
Yes, I was going to say that. And I believe the mafia or mobs might not be called that, but there are groups of people that definitely run that city.
Absolutely. The city's association with organized crime continues to be a part of its cultural mythology. And although the mob has, quote, moved on from Las Vegas, there is no shortage of crime in the desert city. The story I'm sharing is from 1993, when Las Vegas had a significantly higher rate of violent crime compared to present-day statistics. According to FBI data, the violent crime rate in Las Vegas in 93 was 1,225.9 per 100,000 people. This included 181 murders, 1,077 rapes, and 6,820 aggravated assaults.
Wow.
Surprisingly, the most recent data shows that the violent crime rate in Vegas has decreased quite significantly, with a rate of 720.5 per 10,000 people in 2021. That includes 149 murders, 812 rapes, and 4,757 aggravated assaults.
Okay.
All still very high numbers, in my opinion, but significantly less than in the 90s.
They're working on it. Okay. Slowly but surely they'll get there. Maybe, probably not. It's just a wild city. I'm sorry.
There's no rules. I feel like it's lawless out there.
Yeah, the city is known for its crime. Like, that's why people go there.
So while there's still room for improvement, the decrease in violent crime over the years is a positive trend for the city of Las Vegas. Before we talk about the night that changed a woman's future forever, let me tell you a little bit about her. Sara Lynne Halsey was a 20-year-old student of the Community College of Southern Nevada, but planning to attend the University of Nevada in Las Vegas, or as we all know it, UNLV, in the fall. She had a proclivity for mathematics and wanted to become an engineer, just like her father, John. She was already in planning stages for her degree, setting schedules, meeting with her advisor, choosing classes, and looking forward to her future education and the ability to take her love for math into a career. Before Sara had the opportunity to attend UNLV, she was doing what most 20-year-olds do, enjoying the start of summer break with her friends. The evening of Friday, May 21st, 1993, was no different than any other Friday night for Sara and her friends. They made plans to go out to a local gathering spot off of East Harmon Avenue, which is just a block away from the Strip, to a place called the Shark Club. This was a well-known favorite location for young women. They had live music regularly, and it had been around since the late 1970s. It originally opened as one of the first true dance clubs in Las Vegas under the name of Jubilation and called itself the largest disco in the world at one point.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun.
I also love that they called themselves discos. I mean, that's
Yeah.
so retro feeling. It's just, you hear that term very much
No,
anymore.
no. Just a night out, a girl's night out for fun. I love it. Whitney, do you feel that your financial goals are constantly out of reach? That every single step forward, something pops up and makes it 2 steps back? With Chime Secure Credit Builder Visa Credit Card, you can start building credit with your own money through on-time payments and small, everyday purchases like groceries, streaming, and gas.
Yes, and with your oldest just now starting to drive, every little bit can help. I've heard that members can see an increase of 30 points to their credit scores on average. Chime reports your payments to the major credit bureaus to help you build credit over time.
Start making your financial dreams a reality with Chime. Signing up only takes 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/Cabernet. That's chime.com/Cabernet.
The Chime Credit Builder Visa Credit Card is issued by Stride Bank, NA, pursuant to a license from Visa USA Chime checking account, and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply for the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa Credit Card. Regular on-time payment history can have a positive impact on your credit score. Impact to score may vary, and some user scores may not improve. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees may apply except at MoneyPass ATMs in a 7-Eleven or any Allpoint or Visa Plus Alliance ATM. This club was 10,000 square feet and was said to be the first club to use metal detectors to find weapons on patrons, so it
Oh.
seemed fairly safe.
Or what, did it have the metal detectors because it had a problem with that?
I mean, you could, I feel like that was a glass half full, glass half empty scenario right there.
But at least they're trying to prevent it.
Sure. The crime was not happening on the other side of the metal detectors. At least we know that.
Yes.
In 1987, the club was renovated and rebranded as the Shark Club. No doubt the band that Gwen Stefani started and once was a part of once performed here before they broke it big.
Oh my God. That is so amazing.
There was another band too. Did you ever hear of the Gin Blossoms?
I did not.
Okay, so I've heard of them, but for the life of me, I could not figure out what their hit was, but I also didn't go look. I've heard this before, but I don't know who they are.
Oh,
I did know who No Doubt was.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Sarah and one of her friends arrived at the Shark Club around 11 p.m. that fateful night and were standing in the parking lot waiting for more friends to meet them. Come on, we're girls. We travel in packs. We're not going in until everyone's there.
Yeah.
While chatting, a dark-colored 1980s Camaro or Firebird with dark tinted windows pulled up beside the women, and a black woman leaned out of the window and asked if either of the women had a lighter. Sarah opened her purse to grab a lighter, but before she could hand it to this woman, the woman tried to yank the purse away from Sarah. Sarah fought back and was shot once in the chest. The driver of the car tore off after the shooting, heading west on East Harmon Avenue towards the Strip. Everything happened so quickly, no license plate numbers were noticed. A bystander ran to call 911 while Sarah's friend frantically tried to stop the bleeding that was gushing from Sarah's chest.
Mm.
An ambulance arrived within minutes, and they rushed her to the University Medical Center 5 miles away. It was a long but quick journey trying to save her life. The friend was then tasked with calling Sarah's father, John, to tell him the horrible news. Sarah's mother and stepfather were also notified, and both parents, with their significant others, headed towards the hospital. They both arrived seemingly at the same time, and like out of a movie, Sarah succumbed to her injuries just before they could arrive.
Holy crap.
Investigations began immediately, and there were many witnesses in the parking lot to the Shark Club. But unfortunately, it was nighttime. The shooting happened so quickly, no one was able to provide any tangible leads for law enforcement to go on. Sarah's friend was able to provide a minimal description of the woman who leaned out of the vehicle. She said that she was a soft-spoken Black woman wearing a dark blue or black baseball cap with the letter X on it in white. With the dark tint, no one saw the driver. No witness could even tell if the passenger or the driver shot Sarah. In fact, no one was even sure that only 2 people were in the car. It's
Oh,
dark
wow.
outside. It's dark in the car. There was no information available.
And it didn't seem like anything nefarious was happening. Somebody just wanted a lighter, and it's perfectly normal to ask people for lighters. And here we have Sarah just giving it to her like a nice human being. Nobody probably thought anything of it. This is completely common. So,
And I'm sure that this person who was attempting to steal her purse, that's what they thought. They said, look, this is an easy way in. We pull up beside these people. We ask for a lighter as they take their guard down, move their arm up, holding their purse. Usually your purse is tucked underneath your arm. You lift your elbow up to dig into your purse, grabbing a purse real quick. From a criminal standpoint, I can see how that would work a lot of the times. And Sarah
exactly.
just instinctively fought back.
And the person was still in the car. So it's not even fighting back. I would just like jerk back a lot
Mhm.
myself. And then obviously the person would come with me. Oh man,
Mhm.
it's just horrible.
Police sought the public's help, but no movement was made in finding Sarah's murderer. The family had flyers created and distributed, offering a reward, but these flyers brought in very few tips. Just a few months before Sarah's murder, her sister's fiancé and her soon-to-be brother-in-law was taken by cancer.
Oh my gosh. This poor family.
During his service, Sarah made what seemed to be offhanded comment at the time about people spending money on floral arrangements for the funeral and how if she were ever to pass, she did not want people to waste their money on flowers. She wanted the money to instead be given to college students.
Oh,
Her family knew what they had to do to honor Sarah's memory after she passed and immediately established the Sara Lynne Halsey Memorial Scholarship at UNLV to help others pursue a degree in the STEM program. In fact, they left Sarah's funeral and immediately drove to UNLV and established the endowment scholarship that very same day. Her dad said it was the hardest thing they've ever had to do, but knew that Sarah would be proud of their decision to do so.
Ugh.
In fall of 1994, the UNLV campus magazine did a story on Sarah, and they noted that nearly $11,000 had been raised for the endowed scholarship. So this is just within that first year.
That's amazing.
I don't know if you know this, but to start an endowment scholarship at most universities, you have to have a minimum of $10,000 to put into an account for them. And then that account grows interest and people donate to it. And then like dividends cut off scholarships for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
It's not a typical, here's $1,000 raised, here's $1,000 given.
I did wonder how that happened because I know a lot of scholarships are year over year, especially memorial ones. So that's interesting.
The first award was $680, and it is still awarded every year to this day. They are hosting a fundraising event in May of this year, May 23rd, 2023 to be exact. I'm going to keep an eye on it to see if there's anything we can do to perhaps donate towards Sarah's scholarship in her name, or see if there's any way we can share that out and build up this scholarship in her memory.
That's awesome.
Sarah's case has been cold since 1993, but her family is not giving hope that someone knows something, and it is not too late to come forward. There has been no arrest or leads in Sarah's murder, and her family has even stated that no arrest is going to bring Sarah back, but someone is still responsible for her death, and they need to be brought to justice. If you know anything about Sarah's murder, please call the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department at 702-828-3521, or you can email them at homicide@lvmpd.com.
Wow, this one is it's heartbreaking. These cases.
She had her whole life ahead of her, and she was just out on a girls' night,
Yeah.
and her life was taken from her.
Yeah. Absolutely insane case.
Just by listening to our content, you too are advocating for justice for these families. Thank you for making a difference in their lives as well.
We want to share a few ways you can support us to continue our mission. You can become a Patreon subscriber for as little as $1 per month, or a simple rate and review on your favorite podcast platform helps us get in front of someone who may know something.
We will continue traveling state by state, seeking justice, because we will be there, no matter where,
no matter who.